but we wanted to do something a little bit different. We made this. We got a new toy in the office today. I'm pretty excited about this. It is from, take a look at that. It's from Insta360. It is their new 360 camera. They actually overnighted us this package with the camera in it just so we had enough time to test it out and have some fun with it before the camera is actually released. So I think we're just gonna dive right in, see what this thing's like, and have some fun. I always like packages that have a pull tab. It's so easy. Whoa, there's a lot of things here. Whoa, look at that. Insta360 pull. We got some bubble wrap and got a lens cap because that's important, because the thing about 360 cameras is that the lens sticks out, and if you lay it down on the ground or anything, it scratches the lens and they're literally toast. You can't do anything with them after because it'll show up in every single shot that you try to get. So lens caps, very important for 360 cameras. And this is the camera. This is the Insta360 1X2. It has a screen on the front there. It looks pretty cool. I'm excited to get into it. Open up. Oh, look at it. Look at it. Oh, it has some, feels really sturdy. This thing has a rubber around the edge here. Nice grippy, like if you want to hold on to it. From what I can tell here, this is probably their competition for the GoPro Max, the GoPro 360 camera. This is probably like their action cam version of a 360 camera. So I assume it's waterproof. So it's a waterproof 360 camera that you can kind of like do everything with, whether it's action sports, high intensity, underwater. It's got it all. It's a nice small little package here. Here we are. Okay, so that is pretty much it for unboxing this little camera here. We have a few ideas to put this thing through its paces, but it is currently nighttime at the moment, so we can't do that right now. So I'm excited to wake up tomorrow, test this thing out, and see what it can do. It is the next day now. We're out here in this beautiful forest setting to test out the new Insta360 1X2. Now, when it comes to 360 cameras, you guys have all seen those before. They have the standard shot with people with the little pole. It looks like there's a floating orb that's following you around. And those are definitely cool, but we wanted to do something a little bit different. Now, we were doing some brainstorming and I was up all night trying to figure out what we could do that is a little bit different. So I thought, what if we take that pole idea and we do something a little bit more extreme? So we made this. This is a pole. It's 16 feet to be precise, and we were thinking of putting the 360 camera right on the end there and seeing what kind of a perspective we can get when it's way up in the air. So this contraption consists of a broomstick, which we then use 2 hose clamps to attach to this window washing pole, which is extendable, which we then, just because that wasn't enough, we then hose clamped it again to the actual Insta360 selfie stick itself. Now this selfie stick is their invisible selfie stick, so it actually fits right in the seam line of where the 2 videos come together, and you can cut it out and it basically looks like this floating orb. We don't know if this entire contraption is going to be invisible or not, but it's worth a shot. So I think the only thing we have to do is just attach the camera to the end here. We'll be ready to shoot some really interesting perspectives. Now it's a little ridiculous because when we were carrying this thing out here, it's 16 feet long, so putting it into Mitchell's car was a bit of a process. Anyways, we made it happen. We got it here, and it's absolutely ridiculous. The lens here, a little bit of a wipe down. If you're unfamiliar with 360 cameras, you have to make sure that the lens is always clean. If you have anything, like any speck of dust or anything on the lens, it will show up in the video and ruin your video. So they give you these nice little microfiber cloths to just give them a wipe down and make sure nothing is on the lens. So are you ready? I think I'm ready. I think what we're gonna do is just start off with me sticking it in the air, maybe walking through some trees and just see what it looks like, and then we'll kind of go from there. And this is now the maiden voyage of the giant 360 camera. That is so tall. Look at it. That's gotta be like probably 20 feet in the air. That's cool. Okay, let's walk around and see what kind of footage we can get. This is really tricky to film because I don't have a lens wide enough to fit both Mitchell and the end of the stick in the same shot. Look at that thing, holy cow. I just brought the pole down so we can give it a bit of a watch through. Something that's really cool about the Insta360 One X2 over the original One X is that it has a viewing screen on it, so you can actually see what the video looks like without having to pull out your phone like you had to do with the original One X. So let's give it a bit of a watch through here. Oh, look at that. That is crazy. That looks like, oh wow. It's like you're in a bird, you're like a bird. We've been having way too much fun with this thing, but now we want to try another shot where Mitchell is following me with the camera and it's kind of like a drone shot, but amongst the trees. So that is it for this pole in the forest. We haven't seen exactly what the footage looks like because we have to get it onto our computer to do that, but you guys have, and I'm sure it probably looks quite nice. The only worry I'm gonna have is whether because the pole is so wobbly, this thing at the end shakes quite a bit. That's my only concern, but they do have something called flow state stabilization, which is kind of like their stabilization software that should apparently help smooth this out. So that should be able to save a bit of the footage. And I think that's it for kind of the pole in the forest. We have one other idea that we want to try out, and I think you guys might think it's pretty cool. So we'll see you guys there. Okay, so we've been kind of working away here for the last little bit, and we've made this contraption. Now what this is it's a suction cup mount that has this little wedge on it, and the idea is that what we're gonna do is mount this to the top of my car, and then we're going to take this pole, which will have the 360 camera on the end, we'll stick it into here, clamp it down, and mount it. What's gonna happen is the 360 camera is going to be kind of like at a 45-degree angle above the car, and it'll give you kind of like an RC car perspective. So you'll see the car and the camera will be kind of following it like this, or at least that's the idea. So this 3-piece suction cup is actually a car dent puller. So the idea there is that if you get a dent in your car, you're supposed to be able to use this to pull the dent out and maybe do some DIY auto body repair. They are extremely strong. Like once all 3 of these are suctioned on there, you could probably pick up like 500 pounds. So I have complete confidence that this is going to be able to hold the camera and the pole and the setup. So I'm excited. Ooh, whoopsies, a little flexible in the roof there. Oh, that's not going anywhere. I could reef on this thing all day. Yeah, I think that's stable. Ta-da! That is going to be so cool. So we have arrived at the location. We are going to be testing out this camera 360 car rig thing. Mitchell just mounting it up here. We picked a nice spot that's kind of like this quiet road with a lot of like tall trees right at the edge of the road, because we want to see a bunch of trees going by the camera and stuff like that to make it look like there's a lot of motion. Look at that. There we go. Okay, there we go. That is crazy. Because we can't, I'm not, 8 feet tall and can't reach the recording button, we have connected to the app now, so we can start and stop and change settings from my phone, and I can be sitting inside the car, and also if it falls off, I'll be able to see it. Yeah, let's just go down the road. Let's see what this looks like. This is crazy. so cool.
Really?
Yeah. I've been watching on my phone. I mean, not that I'm using my phone while I'm driving. That's definitely not what's happening, but it looks so awesome. And it looks like just a little video game with the car racing around with all the road and the trees going by. It's so cool. Okay, so that is it for our car pole contraption thing. We haven't seen exactly what it looks like, but from what we can tell in the app, it looks really, really cool. You guys will definitely have seen it already in the video, so go in the comments, let us know what you think of this unique perspective. And I'm excited to take this back, throw it on the computer, process the footage, and see what it looks like in its full glory. We've arrived back in the office, and I think it's time to kind of give our final thoughts and opinions on this 360 camera. It's a great camera. We really, really like it. Now, to be honest, this is kind of our first camera that we have done some serious 360 work with. We don't normally use 360 cameras, but I think after getting this, we might start. Something I really enjoy about 360 cameras is just the hassle-free nature of it. You can just throw it on a stick, you can start filming, you don't have to worry about any angles or anything. You can literally slap the thing in auto, press record, and you'd be off to the races. Another thing that I was quite surprised about was just how good the flow state stabilization that they offer for this is. After sticking it on that really wiggly pole and having it bounce around, and just even on the top of the car, it was vibrating to hell. It was really refreshing to throw this onto the computer and see that the footage was all smoothed out. And I'd say it did an extremely good job for the circumstances it was in. Now, if you plan on actually trying to stick a 360 camera like this onto the end of an extremely long pole, go ahead, try it. It is so much fun. We were just having a blast with this camera on the end of a giant stick. Something I would recommend is get a sturdy pole, because the one that we had a bit of flex in it. It was kind of a pain using it and having it shake around all over the place. So get yourself like a long wooden pole or a nice sturdy pole that doesn't flex so much. And I think you'll have a lot of success and also a lot of fun. Finally, since this camera doesn't exist in a vacuum and it exists in the world with a bunch of other 360 cameras, including ones that Insta360 offers themselves, you might be wondering, how does this stack up to the Insta360 1R, which is their latest 360 camera other than this one? Now, to put it simply, I would say this is where you get premium video quality, and this is where you get versatility. This camera is the best 360 camera that Insta360 offers. It has increased bitrate over this guy and also has a longer battery life. And all in all, if you are going for just the most premium 360 footage you can possibly get, this is your guy. But if you are someone who likes having versatility with their gear and might use it in more than one way, this is it. This one allows you to turn it essentially into a GoPro. It has a bunch of different mods and accessories that you can add onto it. It still does incredible 360 video. It's not as good as this. So this is where you get versatility with your gear. This is where you get just the paramount 360 quality that you might be looking for. With that being said, these are both extremely capable 360 cameras, and I think in a setting like a YouTube video, you honestly wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Now, with this newfound appreciation for 360, I can definitely tell you that we're going to be incorporating it into our workflow a lot more. It offers this really unique perspective that you can't really get with any other camera. As well, it is gear that just doesn't get in the way of what you're trying to capture. Finally, I hope you guys enjoyed this video where we test out the Insta360 One X2. I also hope you guys enjoyed our unique perspective with the long pole. If you're new here, make sure you go to Instagram, follow us there. Also go down and subscribe, like, comment, do all that. It really helps us out. And we'll see you guys in the next video. We rarely are in the same shot ever. That's actually kind of funny. Okay, here we are. Can you tell that we're twins?